Assalamu alaikum and good evening. It's a very special feeling when we are together after a long day of fasting, and particularly the way we have developed this whole institutionalization of fasting in America. I mean, in the beginning when I came here, when we were establishing the Muslim communities around the country and our Islamic Society of North America, we were wondering, when we raise our generations, our youth, new generation, which of the Islamic pillars will be more popular here. We had never we thought that maybe they will pray, they will give zakat, and they will go to Hajj, but will they fast? Because in an affluent society here, will they take it seriously? But history has proved us those concerns that we have had totally wrong. This is the most popular pillar of Islam in America. And this is an invisible pillar. I mean, people would never see whether you are fasting or not. They can see if you are praying, they can see you. If you give donations, they will know that you are giving zakat. And if you go for Hajj, they know that you are a Haji. But whether you are fasting or not, it's such an invisible act of worship. But it's amazing that it is this very pillar of Islam that became most visible in America. And when we were initially struggling, how will we make this, establish this institution? And over these 50 years, it's amazing how Muslims, men and women from coast to coast, have been able to create such a respectable, visible, even this institution, which now we know, from White House to all the different federal departments, to governors of different cities, these mayors are holding these iftar parties. I remember in the beginning we used to take delegations to meet with New York Times editorial board, Chicago Sun, Los Angeles Times, and here Washington Post, to help them, to tell them that we have this 1 month of fasting. If we could report about it something so that our children in schools will know that this is the month of fast. Today, it is the talk of the town. Right from the White House to every house, everybody knows about it, and they feel proud of it. There are so many reasons, and I really admire Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brought here people who really understood America, who understood the essence of Islam, joined hands together, and we were able to achieve it. So I will tell you just one incident so that you understand that while as the Quran tells us directly, Kutiba alaykum as-siyam, and then second part is Kama kutiba ala alladhina min qablikum, that we have commanded you to fast. Just like it does not take a breath, it immediately says, so that you don't get too much elated. Kama kutiba ala alladhina min qablikum, the same way as we did with people before you. That means Christianity, Judaism, Hinduism. There's no religion that can afford to be a religion without fasting, because fasting is enhancing your spiritual part of your being. So therefore a religion by definition has to have fasting as one of its components. But what Islam did, it elevated fasting to the status of one of the fundamentals, one of the fundamental pillars of our faith. So it has all the different aspects within a community, whether it is as an Islamic practice of spirituality, whether it is building communal solidarity, whether it is sharing with those who don't have and are really starving because they don't have. There are many things that I would like to say, but let me conclude with one incident. I had a meeting in Detroit and I was living here. That's about 10 years ago. The meeting was an interfaith coordination meeting. So that means there were people of other faiths coming to a meeting. We call it interfaith Christian Muslim table. So where we were coming from different cities and discussing our next year's plans. So it's not just say interfaith, just discussion, but serious planning. So when I was in the plane, I remember that this was month of Ramadan. I was fasting, but suddenly it came to my mind that when I go there in this meeting, whole day meeting, I will be fasting. And these people who are coming from National Council of Churches and different denominations, they will not be fasting. So on the one hand, I thought, well, they won't know about it, and it's fine. It's my personal, situation. But then I thought that, but it is not 30 years ago. All of them know now that we are fasting. So it will look awkward that they will drink tea and coffee and lunch, and so I will have to show that I don't mind about it. I don't care about it. So I'm still in the plane and thinking about it, and then I read this verse from the Quran again. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu kutiba alaykumus siyam kama kutiba alal ladina min qablikum. Right? This part we have just now talked about. Then if you go further, it says wa in kuntum ala safarin. But if you are what? Suffering. No, traveling. If you are traveling, then you are exempt from fasting, right? So it flashed in my mind that I am traveling from Washington to Detroit. I don't have to fast. What a relief it is. Now I understand why Islam is a practical religion. It does not put hardship on its followers. So I was happy now. And I went there. I thought that I will not fast because same God says that you don't have to fast when you are traveling. So we started our meeting and we are discussing, we are drawing the agenda, taking the items one by one, and then there is no tea, there is no coffee. So I asked one of the organizers, I said, what happened? Where is coffee? Where is tea? You are not drinking. He said, this is month of Ramadan. I said, that's for me, not for you. He said, it's for everybody. We have decided to fast today in your honor. So I said, I didn't tell them now. I was fasting. I didn't have to fast, right? But I now was fasting because they were fasting. And they were fasting, they didn't have to fast. They were fasting because I was fasting. Did you get? I wanted to highlight this. It would have taken me several lectures. This one single incident has conveyed to you, we are not in Pakistan, as you were saying. We are not in the Muslim world. We are not in Europe. We are in a country where we are celebrating our 52nd anniversary of establishing, for the first time, the oldest and the largest Islamic organization, Islamic Society of North America. In these 52 years, we have made ourselves visible. We have earned respect, and people understand the true essence of Islam. It's possible that some of us may not have failed to do that. It is possible that every day the news that is coming on the television and newspapers and everywhere, but we have succeeded. We are thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I have reached a point in my life that I congratulate myself. I congratulate that lady over there who with me raised 6 American young leaders who are providing leadership today in different fields in America with a sense of pride. And Ramadan is one of those gifts that has really helped us to shape our second generation. Shukran. Jazakumullahu khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.